It's a character which me being a Marathi, still I haven't done a very typical Marathi character. So the film is set in a rural backdrop. Rajni sir is phenomenal. He is absolutely phenomenal. He actually spoke in Marathi with me when I first met him, and
Wow.
he was like, in Marathi he said, "Me pan Marathi ahe." So I was like, yes, of course I know. Yes. And language is also a very beautiful way to learn about culture, to learn about people, and how intrinsically they are beautiful. We as an actors, as artists, we get this golden opportunity to live through all kinds of emotions, and that's also the reason we become very porous.
Hi guys, welcome to SpotboyE. This is Anita in conversation with the very talented Anjali Patil. Hello.
Hi.
You know what? Just
Thank
before
you.
interviewing you, I was just reading your filmography and the films that you have done and all your successes. I was so blown out. Seriously, congratulations, firstly, because this is the first time I'm talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a very hand-picked, hand-curated life and films I have done so far.
Yes, but but everything that you have done, always has a message or always, try to bring out something from that film. Is it a conscious decision to do so, or
I think it was more or less conscious, subconscious, because I come from a background where I studied for 6 years in two different drama schools. I studied direction and designing. So I was never considered myself only as an actor. And films also was part of a medium which I found very close to my heart, a medium I fell in love with. And I found that bond with films to express myself, my art. So it was never burdened with the very typical ideas of success and fame and popularity. Of course, I was infected by it for some time, because when you get into industry, when you get anywhere, any kind of herd, you want to behave like the herd. So I did struggle with that as well, but it made me really unhappy and depressed, and I realized, no, this is not why I chose to become an artist. And slowly then, from that very subconscious decision, it became a very conscious decision that I don't have anything against popular culture or mainstream cinema. I do it as well. But my first preference is to my inner happiness as an artist. So that child needs to to have its lollipop of happiness, and then everything can function smoothly.
so what about this film, Dithee, convinced you to do this film?
Dithee is all about Sumitra Bhave. So Sumitra Bhave is I don't want to call her a legend or a maestro, but she is probably beyond all these adjectives which we use. Uh, I have met Sumitra Maushi a few, like, I think I was 17 when I met her for the first time in Pune University. She has come to cast for one of her film, and she saw me, and I was really tiny. I was really young, and she was very convinced that we will work together at some point. And it took us 2019 for that to happen. So one fine day, I got a call from her, and she was like, "Anjali, it's a very small role. I don't know if you will do it or not. We don't have a producer, but I see you there." Uh, and I had no option then just to ask her when and where. When do you want me to come? Just tell me. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it was when I went there, I had no idea about the role or who all are there in the film. I just went, And then I reached and I realized that these are all stalwarts. I am surrounded by stalwarts. Kishore Kadam was doing lead, Mohan Agashe, Dilip Prabhavalkar, Amruta Subhash, Girish Kulkarni, Omkar, all these people were there. And so I was like a little, what do you call? I was like a little tiny ant, the ant, and by mistake she gets into this granary, sugar granary or something, where she finds all the packs and loads of sugar, and I was like, how much I should eat now? So yes, the tea was a very divine coincidence in many ways. Yes.
This is her last film, and it was shown at the Pune Film Festival, and you all won 3 awards for that. However, now the entire audience, the other public, is going to watch it on the OTT platform when it releases. So, how emotionally this film is going to be for you, because now it's going to be seen by like a larger audience. And what was the last conversation that you had with her? Do you remember that?
Yes. I think the last conversation when we met, it was in November. I was in Pune and I was shooting for a film, and we decided it was my last day in Pune, and we decided to meet. And so Sumitra Maushi, she was like my grandma, my girlfriend, my mentor, everything. We could chat like girls, and also she was all of that I wish to be one day as a female director. So we went, and it was the same night, I think, they were signing the contract for this entire thing. So we were very happy about the film, which because it's difficult to find access to her cinema. The cinema has been there, and it's one of the finest cinema in Indian history, and still she struggled to find a good audience, and the audience has also struggled to find her films.
Yeah.
So finally, her this is like her masterpiece, and it's there now. It's there for everybody to watch. Emotional in many ways, yes. There is a loss. There is a loss of a form. She is not there now in that form. But I don't think I will. I mean, I will miss talking to her. I will miss that thing which comes with the physical form. But I don't think I really miss her, because she's probably more closer to me now, and to everybody who really loves her and have interacted with her. And there is her cinema there. It's going to be there forever. So Dithee coincidentally also talks about loss and grief, life and death, and as like her other films, which were also very relevant. Like Kasab was talking on depression in younger generation. Astu was on Alzheimer. Now Dithee is coming in this time where all of us all of us are struggling with loss, struggling with uncertainty, death, and grieving. Even though we haven't lost, probably many of us haven't lost people in our first circle, but have seen the losses, and we are all in it together. We are all grieving together. So this film now coming is again a divine coincidence, because this film offers a lot of healing. It's like a balm which will, which you can heal, you can grieve and heal.
You said it right. Like not a lot of people got the chance to watch her movies, or see her movies. And in one of her interviews, she did mention saying that, though my films have won a lot of awards, but unfortunately, not many people have watched what I've done. My work has not been done. Having said that, do you think now is the right time, for directors like her, especially when OTT is like booming to a different level? The things
Yes.
that only we could see on, like this film, which first released on the international platform, the film festival. Now it is releasing on OTT because of the boom that we have. So it is a boon for directors like her. Do you agree?
Definitely. Yes, definitely. And boon for the directors, and also like a blessing for audiences who who fail to find a connect, who fail to find cinema which would match their taste. So I feel Sumitra Bhaveshi's cinema is so subtle and so different, and complex and yet simple. It's a very peculiar way of storytelling, and so many of us feel handicapped because we can't find cinema which we want to watch. We are
Right.
constantly given the options which cater to larger amount of people, and somewhere we lose our very uh, personal choice.
Hmm.
So when films like these or will find platform and more audience, I think it will also encourage people like me and you and everybody to tell more personal stories, and
Right.
not get disheartened by the big
Sorry.
shosha and hangama of the.
Can you describe about your character in the film? What exactly? How are you going to see you in the film?
Okay. It's a very it's a character which me being a Marathi, still I haven't done a very typical Marathi character. So the film is set in a rural backdrop. Uh, so all the characters around in the film are from a rural backdrop, and it's like a where we shot. It was all real locations, and we shot the film in a pilgrimage which happens every year in Maharashtra for 18 days. So we were absolutely drenched in that atmosphere. I don't think any of us, I don't think none were recognized when we were into those crowds of thousands and thousands of people. Uh, so that was probably the magic of Sumitra Maushi's filmmaking, that you don't realize you are making a film. You actually just live through the entire experience, and she keeps observing it while you live that, and yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Tulsa, my character's name is Tulsa or Tulsa.
Hmm.
Uh, she's a young girl who is recently married, and she loses her husband in the river, and she's pregnant. So it's a very vulnerable, helpless, hopeless girl uh, who's absolutely vulnerable. Uh, and yes, something that I haven't done so far. But not that it was the criteria. The main thing was to be around Sumitra Maushi, and everything else was just like a you know added bonus.
Yeah. So, the film is emotionally draining. Okay, it is on a heavy subject that we're talking about. There's a lot of crying, there's a lot of emotions involved. How emotionally draining was it for you? And did you take the character home, or was it easy to leave the character on sets and then normal?
I think we don't really. I don't. I used to say this, that after every film I take some time and just to come out of the character and go back to someone I used to be before before I played that character. But now I have come to this understanding that probably we don't, the those characters, they live in us throughout. uh, so I don't think there are certain things that we, now I come into this character, this Anjali's character who's in Nashik, but there is still a lot of hopelessness and vulnerability of that character which I still carry within myself. um, and yeah, what was the question?
Was it emotionally draining as well for you?
Was it emotionally draining? Yes, it was draining, but I think it works more like catharsis. Like when you experience a loss in on the screen, and you go through it and you experience it as a loss. So uh, even though I haven't lost, someone very close to me, or but to have that experience allows you to expand. So, and we get very scared. I know that we are very scared of loss and death and grief. But when we look at all these things, and we as an actors, as artists, we get this golden opportunity to live through all kinds of emotions. And that's also the reason we become very porous. We become very porous to the pain and the happiness of other people as well. It allows you to expand. So I don't look at it now as an experience which drains me. I look at it as a way to expand more into the universe.
Right. Anjali, like you spoke, this is a character that you have not done before, but all your films, the characters that you have played, you have not done it before in any of your other films as well. You not only that, but you also have, done films in all the possible languages: Marathi, Tamil, Hindi. Uh, how enriching it is to do films in different languages, and do you find it difficult anytime, or do you feel like just giving up and just concentrating on one particular language?
Yes, sometimes I do feel that, okay, it's too much. I mean, I remember coming back from a film which we shot in Telugu and Malayalam at the same time, and I came back and I was not able to speak Marathi. I was not able to speak English.
Oh
Sab
God.
khichdi ho gayi thi. So uh, even when now I go to Tamil Nadu, I come back, I have a very strong accent in my English. And then when I come to come to Nashik, I speak a lot of Marathi. And then I go back to speaking Hindi with my Hindi friends, and they're like, "Oh, this is a very strong Marathi accent in Hindi." So, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I love languages. I absolutely love languages. I don't know why and how that has happened, but I love to listen to different languages. It's like music, when you listen to a different language which you don't understand. Uh, and language is also a very beautiful way to learn about culture, to learn about people, and how intrinsically they are beautiful. Uh, like they're different. They're different, and I think that's probably the thing that I could still go through all the difficulty of learning the language, because I really enjoy knowing people, knowing the culture, uh, yeah, the food, everything.
All right. So your last film, Bounce Out, was with Mr. Superstar Rajnikant. Do you still remember your first meeting with him? How was your experience with it? And I was reading a lot about the character that you played in Kala. It was well appreciated because of the character that you played. It was very strong. So yeah, so like I asked, what was your first impression about Mr. Rajnikant, and now how was your first meeting with him?
Yeah, I remember the first meeting, of course. I mean, it's like a festival. I mean, I heard so many things about him before meeting him. uh, and I was like, ah, I'll see what it is, okay. So, but when I met him, it was like a festival. You feel his energy and you feel his aura in the atmosphere, and everybody around, they are all charged. They're all glowing. So that's something absolutely beautiful, and I was lucky that I got to experience it firsthand. Um, yeah. Rajni sir is phenomenal. He is absolutely phenomenal.
Were you intimidated by him in the first meeting? Yes.
I no. He I think the biggest part of his entire being is that he's very expansive. He's very open and porous, uh, and absolutely humble. He makes sure that you kind of feel welcome and you feel safe around him, which is beautiful. So I was not intimidated. Yeah, he actually spoke in Marathi with me when I first met him, and
Wow.
he was like, in Marathi he said, "Me pan Marathi ahe." So I was like, yes, of course I know. Yes.
All right. So what next from your end, Anjali? Where do we see you next?
Uh, there are a couple of films which will be coming, and uh, there is a short film which I acted in and I also produced, that's selected for New York Indian Film Festival.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
yes, there is another Tamil film named Kudraival, which is produced by Paranjeet. That's also doing festival circuit right now. It's creating a lot of buzz in international festivals. Um, I finished 3 films in an actor's capacity, uh, 2 last year and 2 this year actually. Yeah, so 4. And I directed my first film. Uh,
Wow.
yes,
How do you
so that's
find
something.
time to act and then direct and then produce? Bapre.
I just do one thing at a time, and I take good time. I take good time to just be around, in the nature with my family. Uh, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a hurry to reach somewhere. So I'm just enjoying each thing, with its own flow. So now my film, which I directed, I was working on it for a year. Then
Hmm.
the 3 actors, very dear friends of mine, they generously said that we would be part of it. So we had a process for 2-3 months. We were discussing, chatting, and finally we shot the film in December. It's called Neither a Girl Nor a Woman, and it's a gender study. It talks about the spectrum of womanhood, where especially women and girls right now, they find it difficult that they are still the girls but they're not the women as they want to be, or they're women but still there is a girlhood in them. So it talks about a lot of questions and conditioning which comes with society and with the gender. So yes, that's something coming, and I'm also writing a script, a feature film.
Wow. You're full
Yes.
multi-talented, everything in one go. That's good.
Ye- yes. I mean, it's just a way to express myself. And we all have different ways to, we all find different mediums. And I was very much feeling limited with only being an actor, especially actor in film.
Hmm.
So it was quite, this transition was happening for last 3-4 years, that I'm not able to be as happy I used to be in films.
Hmm.
So I was kind of thinking of moving back to direction, because direction is my first love. That's what I
Okay.
studied also in drama school. So yeah, it's like a homecoming.
Well, it's so great to see so many. things that you're capable of, to see so many things that you're capable of. You know, it's very encouraging for other girls, and this boy is not going to leave you. Okay, well, on that note, Anjali, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Anita.